Haley with Hemp and Hi friends, I'm Haley with Hemp Tea Company. I was just telling our friend Coach here about the 7-part series that we're doing. We just had our first one, so I was telling him about the last topic that we touched upon. But right now I'm making him a tea. He always wants something custom, so he wanted something with like some citrusy notes. So we picked out a blend called Arabica Lemon Turmeric, but I only had a little bit of it left. So to add those citrusy notes, put this blood orange blend here, which is some rose hips, orange peel, um, and scraps of hibiscus. And then I added some turmeric for joint health, circulates the body, and also flavor profile. So that's what we're preparing right now. It's a very pretty red color.
So what's the name we came up with for this tea?
Yes, the name that we came up with is Arabica Blood Orange Turmeric.
There it is.
If all of those had a baby.
Of all those. I love it. Okay.
But yeah, so what we were just talking about was the throat chakra and grounding and why it's important for this time of year. So the throat chakra. The throat chakra is like a major manifesting center, so it's very powerful. So everything that you speak manifests. It's a physical form. So
can you kind of break down what chakras are, just for those people who aren't aware that an amount of chakras we have, and kind of give a brief definition of what each chakra does.
For
if that
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the chakras, there's 7 of them. There's 7 chakras in the body. When you stand upright, or the position when you meditate is like something similar to this. So you keep them all in line, but really these energy centers, they're all connected to parts of the body. So these kind of work like a plumbing system. So like this is your crown chakra up here. If something gets blocked up here, it starts to affect everything else.
Okay.
So it's important to, when you're starting to feel funny or negative in certain, like you're starting to feel negative, just think about, where is this coming from? Where do I feel it on my body?
Is that a reason why it's so important to breathe, to kind of clear those pathways? It's almost like a conduit system, right?
Absolutely.
So breathing kind of clears your chakras and opens up. So if one's blocked, you're not going to be reached the other, correct?
You can start to feel exactly where it's coming from through breath work. Yes. So breath will invite some newness, but also when you do this breath work, try to imagine it going from up to your crown and then down to your root.
Okay.
When you exhale, imagine that it's coming out of your root. When you inhale, imagine that it's coming up.
So it's like a flow through your body.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So yes, breath work is very important with regulating your nervous system and those chakras.
How important is breath work to your overall wellness and mental health?
Well, you do sports.
Correct.
So you would know that breath is really important for the blood.
Correct.
And very important for the brain.
It's like clearing the brain, getting the fog out.
Yes.
Right.
So then when you can think clearly, you can start to really focus on those energy centers in the body.
Okay. So just you were kind of explaining the chakras, so we're going to go ahead and...
So, like I said, it's about a plumbing system.
Okay.
But the chakras do correlate with certain parts of the body. So I was touching base on the throat chakra and why it's important. And I was also gossiping a little bit about how it can actually manifest like into how you look as well. Certain energy centers, when they're blocked, you can see it on a person. But yeah, so the throat chakra, manifesting center, but also the throat chakra also affects, a lot of people think of it not just like in how you speak. When a throat chakra is blocked, it can manifest into like somebody gossiping, sarcasm, saying a lot but not saying much.
Right. So just talking to be talking.
Just yapping.
Right,
And
right,
not
right.
saying anything of value and
Right.
nothing that brings value to them either.
So just put negative into the universe for
Yes.
no purpose, basically.
Or just saying anything and then you don't get what you want that way.
So do you believe there's power in the words?
Absolutely.
So you're manifesting good or bad, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So it's important to choose our words carefully and
Right.
take breaths and think about what we're actually trying to do with our words.
Absolutely.
Our words are very powerful. But what I was gossiping about is when a throat chakra is blocked, you can actually see it on somebody's face because apparently it can manifest into a bigger lower jaw. Lots of gossiping, lots of yapping.
That's just jaw bubble.
And yes,
right.
It can manifest
wow.
into a bigger lower jaw. This also manifests into thyroid issues. Also affects, like you could start getting a sore throat. You could start, it could also start affecting your ears, your ear health. And how the throat also affects the ears. Here you go, man. That's all you. Is it affects like how you hear. So,
okay.
Not just what you're hearing out of somebody's mouth, but what are they really trying to say?
So you're not getting to the root of it. You're just hearing the volume, but not the words. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So we were talking earlier. You mentioned you're more spiritual, right?
As much as the next guy.
Right. I'm saying, but that's your piece essentially.
Yes.
So how is that drinking tea and that? How's that kind of? Does that kind of bring those two together? It kind of helps you tap into some different realms of your spirituality. Kind of explain that a little bit to me.
Yeah. Everything that we ingest correlates with our body. So I found this out having a spiritual experience with ginger. I ate some pickled ginger and fell into a meditative state one day, and I felt some unblockages in my throat and in my sacral chakra. Wow. So I felt some opening, and it was awesome.
That's dope.
And then I really started studying about how different foods and different herbs can help with our spirit and our well-being. So it's important that we take care of the physical vessel first because it holds the spirit. So what was your question again? I was telling you a story.
No, I was trying to say how do they kind of,
how does this work together?
Yeah, because you just basically said it helps you tap into meditation. That's another realm of spirituality, right? So that's kind of like you opened yourself up a little bit more.
Yes, when your gut is right, you know this, when you eat something bad, when your gut, you ate like Pizza Hut or something, you went right to sleep and you wake up with mental fog.
Right.
You're not tapped into yourself anymore. The gut just affected everything. It affected your mind.
Correct.
And then your mind's cloudy. And now you're at work and you're not communicating with your colleagues properly.
Right.
Like, sorry, man, I'm just having a day. It's what you ate. It's what you put into your body.
Wow.
Yes.
What you get in, what you put in, what you get out.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like what you said. It's almost like a plumbing system. Like if there's a clog in the plumbing system, it's going to flush. It might not flush as efficiently, or it may not flush at all. So it's going to be build up. So what do we got to do? We got to clean the pipes, right?
Yes.
So that makes a lot of sense.
That's important. Yes. Clean the pipes, doing things that are great for our digestive system, like drink a little lemongrass tea. Tea is a very easy way to get these nutrients into your body, but also if you learn how to blend tea, you could really tap in, like, what do I need today? Like, I want something that invites joy. So I'm going to choose like something fruity, like an apple, like a dried apple blend.
Okay.
I want something that can. Our last class that we did, I brought herbs and food things that correlated with the food, so that was on the show. So I brought ginger, I brought some spicy, I brought some minty. So all these things that get you kind of out of your head and back into your body. Because the throat is the channel between the head and the body.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this: if I was a person that was just getting into tea, like myself, I haven't been drinking tea a long time. So if someone's not able to come here, right, and you said, "Hey, go to this place. I recommend this." So let's say if someone was coming and say, "I've just been really stressing a lot. I can't. I just can't get it together. Like I can't get a clear thought." So what's some type of things that you would recommend for them? Like what herbs or tea would you recommend someone? Just basically calm them down. Say they have anxiety.
Uh-huh. A very popular one is chamomile for anxiety.
Okay.
It's soothing. A lot of people think this is just a sleepy time tea, and it's not. That's yours. It's not just a sleepy time tea. It's a so I actually do like to start my day off with a chamomile base.
Okay.
Just anything really to soothe the stomach, but it's so simple. And speaking of simple, it's actually called a simple when you use just one herb.
Right.
And that's your tea.
Okay.
So you could have a tea blend or you could have a simple. So if you have just plain mint, that's a simple.
Right.
Plain chamomile, that will be a simple. So this is a simple and super effective way
Okay.
to help with anxiety, slow you down a little bit so
Right.
you could really tap into what you need to.
Yeah.
And maybe top it off with some cinnamon if you'd like.
Awesome. Now we could probably be here all day with a ton of different scenarios.
Sure.
So how does someone tap into this? I mean, is there information out there, or they can come to your website, or just to kind of suggest the tea for their purpose or their mood?
Yeah. How would somebody get tapped into knowing?
Yeah, how to get to again to go through the different stages and the moods and then the teas that would aid and benefit those moods.
It does. It's really helpful when you're drinking something you actually like. So it's cool to try a couple different teas and buying a tea blend from anywhere.
Right.
We have a whole bunch of tea blends here at our stores. We have about 6 stores now.
And your store is
Hemp Tea Company. So Hemp Tea. We have a store in Belmont.
Okay.
I'm located over here off Sardis Road in the Galleria Shopping Center. We're based out of Huntersville, though, so we're a small business, but we're growing, so people think that we're a chain, but we're not.
Right.
And then we opened a store more east in the plaza. We have another store more in the Highland Creek area towards Concord.
Okay.
Yes, so those are our stores. Right. We have a whole bunch of blends to choose from, so it's cool to pick a blend and just something that you like. And
right.
Well, like this one here.
Right.
This is a floral blend. It's very nutritive too, but it's like rose and oat straw, lavender, and some orange peel pieces. And then you'll see I really like that fluffy flower in there. And then you can just go buy it on its own.
Right. So the visual as well.
Yes. Not just drinking blindly.
Right.
Like look and smell what you're actually drinking.
Smell it.
Yes.
Smell of vision. There we go.
Yes, floral, slightly sweet. So that's a very easy way. So you're not just buying anything that you're not going to use. Buy a blend that you actually like. And maybe pick a couple of flavor varieties too. And also make sure that you breathe after you drink this tea so you could really absorb it.
Feel it. Okay. Almost like tasting wine.
Yes.
Right. To get the palate right.
Exactly.
So is there information on your website where people can kind of tap into that information? Like, hey, this is for this. Is this what this herb does? This is what this herb does. Is that information on your website?
The blends will have descriptions on our website. Yes, at hempandteaco.com.
Okay.
We will have some descriptions there.
Okay.
The descriptions are more towards flavor profile.
Gotcha.
When you drink these things yourself, you'll really start to feel what they can do for you.
All right.
But we're also doing a 7-part series. We're doing a class on the chakras, the different energy centers in the body, and a theme centering around that.
Okay.
And I'll be doing tea testings and tastings and showing different herbs that can help with those energy centers.
Awesome. Is that going to be held here? Or is there a different location?
It's going to be held at our plaza stores.
Okay.
It's going to be the first Friday of every month.
Okay. So the first Friday every month.
Yes.
So what we'll do is I'll put that information out when I hostess. So just kind of give us a little background. How'd you get into this whole tea business and the herbal business essentially?
Um, it was a long time. I didn't like just set out into becoming a tea expert. It just kind of happened like gradually.
Okay.
Was I first started eliminating things that I realized my day was better without them.
Okay.
So I stopped smoking marijuana.
Okay.
I recognized that wasn't making me feel so good. It was giving me lots of mental fog,
Okay.
making me very unmotivated. Also, just getting me too caught up here.
Thinking too much. Okay.
I started during that same time. I started listening to audiobooks. So I started listening to the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. So I would hear a lot of stories about monks and meditation, and a lot of like meditation stories and Zen stories. And I was like, oh, meditation, that sounds cool. I should try that.
Right.
And then I did. So learning how to meditate really helped tap into just listening to my body, but I still didn't know much about chakras at the time.
Okay.
So I had a spiritual experience eating ginger, what I talked about earlier. And the word throat chakra came to my mind. And I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Right.
And I looked it up immediately, throat chakra. And it said that ginger is related to the sacral chakra and the throat chakra,
Right.
exactly where I felt it. So
that's unique.
And I've always been a tea drinker. Like
Okay.
I've always worked with people from different cultures,
Okay.
Asian people, Middle Eastern people. They don't play about their teas,
Right.
so we've always traded teas and exchanged teas. But mostly what my old colleagues were drinking tea for was for physical reasons, for beauty. So you're drinking teas like high antioxidant teas, great for cell regeneration. Black
so
teas.
what's a sample of a couple of those types of tea? Like what would be names of those teas? Like
what would be names of those teas? It would be like a green tea with peach. These were grocery store teas that we were trading and sharing together. We were very people facing, so we had to talk. Mind you, we don't know anything about chakras. It was just relating to exactly what we want to feel. So we were very people facing, and we talked a lot. So I loved throat coat tea back in the day. These women also very much loved black teas. Black tea is great for mental cognitive functions because it's caffeinated.
Gotcha.
Also, tea keeps you skinny. So
skinny tea.
Yes, skinny
gotcha.
tea. Yes. So
that makes sense.
Yes, but after with that ginger incident, I started looking into ginger teas and I started drinking ginger teas. Then I started going to herbal stores and picking out blends. Okay. So this blend is for good dreams, and you would pick a blend for your desired effects, and then I'd be like, oh, what's this orange piece in here? What's this little flower? And I'd find out it was damn, what flower was that?
That's what it's called. Damn, what flower was that?
Yes. Or what's this blue piece right here?
Right.
And be like, oh, that's blue lotus flower.
Gotcha.
And then you could look it up yourself and see all the benefits.
Awesome.
So you could read about all these things all you want, but it really doesn't mean anything unless you do it and taste it and try it and see what it does for you. And maybe try and get in different ways so you actually get a relationship to these herbs.
Right. That's dope. So you spoke on meditation. We'll kind of touch on that a little bit. I'm huge into meditation myself. I put at least an hour a day in every day. Like that's my way. I can't function without it. So
I'm like you, man.
A lot of people say they want to meditate, but they don't know how to meditate. So how would you recommend someone kind of get started on that path? Would you recommend like a guided meditation, or just kind of just trial and error, or just how would you, someone that's never meditated before, how would you say this is the way I would start if I were you? Not saying that you're an expert, but you obviously meditate. So what puts you into the state where you can actually relax and breathe and
Yes.
things of that nature.
I'm definitely not a meditation expert or a breathwork expert, but I'm just a person that has meditated and has seen the benefits it's had in my life. So it's super easy and it's free. How I started meditating was really just like get your space right real quick.
What do you mean by that? Get your space right?
Get your space right. Just clean out a little center. If you have kids, especially, there's like toys and stuff everywhere. Clean out a little square, and sit there. And I started listening to like Tibetan singing bowls, and it'll go doom, and then you can start humming. I started doing it naturally, but I found out it's a technique called vocal toning. So you'll take a breath and you'll hum with the sound of the bowl, and you'll start to feel the sounds vibrating, throughout your body.
So you're following the sound.
Yes, but also you become part of the sound too. Exactly. You start to feel the same vibration. It's so cool. Yeah. So that really silences the mind. Right. So the goal here is to just silence the mind. Don't think about anything except breathing. And then there's like certain breath work counts that you can do. Right. But guided meditations are super helpful. So it gives you a nice little visual about where your breath is going and where you can feel it in your body. So guided meditations are very helpful. You know, there's like plenty on YouTube, but also there are also meditations that you can find, like group meditations. We do a group meditation here. We were doing it at this store for a bit, but we actually did move them to the Plaza store. So it's going to be the first Sunday of every month. Awesome. First Sunday of every month, we do a singing bowl sound bath meditation. Our practitioner Ray, she's very skilled. Cool. She's like a sound bath DJ. Like she has like
sound bath DJ.
Yes, she's like almost ambidextrous. Like she'll like has multiple where she's doing a bowl here and like a chime right here. It's super cool. But I didn't expect to fall into meditation in a group setting because I've meditated plenty, but I was like, I know I work here. I don't think I can actually fall into meditation. But it was actually super powerful when I like sat down. I stopped working for a second. I sat down, decided to join the group, and I felt everybody's vibe at the same level. As soon as I sat down, I felt like I was part of it. Like bees in a hive going. I felt like I was part of it. So, and then I started to cry a little bit, like so a release cry. Yeah. Do you get that too when you meditate?
Yeah, like if you go deep enough, because there's something. So when you said, you know, they can't stop thinking, you're never gonna not think, right?
For sure.
But you can guide it. So I always said when people are, you know, come to me and like, how do you meditate? And it's like, I can't stop my brain. I was like, well, follow it. Follow your brain, because there's a reason why this keeps coming up. So if you explore those things and kind of dig into why you're still having these thoughts and why these things keep coming up, you'll kind of get to the root of it, right?
Absolutely.
And that's meditating. So I think people think that the world is going to be quiet, they're not going to hear a sound, and there's people that will get there, but it takes time, right? I've gone into little zones. Like I like to do things while I meditate, like when I used to mow the grass.
That's meditative.
Right, because you're following the line, and you know what you'll find? You don't even hear the mower that's below your feet until you something like, oh my God, like you were so deep into your thought that you don't hear the sound below your feet a loud more. Right? Think about it. And then you realize, oh my God, like I got in that zone, right? So it's like you just kind of, I always follow the thought, if that makes sense. Instead of try to block it out, like why does this keep coming up? Why am I thinking about this? So that's pretty dope. So
there are tasks you can do, just like he was talking about mowing the lawn, even pulling weeds is meditative when you're focused on one thing. Tweezing my eyebrows, I think, is meditative because I'm focused and I'm not thinking about anything. Like the mind is just quiet. Yes, you're present and you're being concise. There's even like meditative toys. I call it a toy, like these here. Hello. Hi, welcome in. Where you're really not thinking. I'll show you real quick. How are you doing? I'll be right with you, man. I'll show you all real quick, but how this is meditative. This is like a Zen garden of sorts. There's plenty of them that you can find, but really, you take a breath and, you know, I'm focused on doing one motion, so.
So you have to lock in.
You gotta lock in, yes, and it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, but you're doing concise movements, thoughtful. You're not just doing anything. You take a breath and let's see. And also when you second.
I can see where every sitting. So listen, I appreciate it. I will tap back into this. Just give us your information one more time and where they can reach you.
And I'm Haley. Yes, with Hemp Tea Company. So you guys can find me here at the Galleria store. It's 1816 Galleria Boulevard. And
Awesome.
I'm here all the time.
I appreciate you.